This program is proudly brought to you by Centrebet and puntersparadise.com.au.
Hello and welcome to Talkin Thru Your Kick, something I've never tried to do throughout my punting career. I'm Richard Callender, filling in for Russell Barwick, and a very sad day, and we pass our condolences on to Russell and his family in a very sad moment for his family. But Talkin Thru Your Kick this week, brought to you by Centrebet and puntersparadise.com.au. Brent Zarafa from the Daily Telegraph and TVN, how was the week?
It wasn't too bad. Good morning, Richie, and good morning. Hello, everyone. But yes, passing on my thoughts to the Barwick family, but... not a bad weekend on the punt. The Bunnies won again, so all is well.
Let's speak to the boys in Melbourne in the beautiful, the gold and green set. Oh, they're getting ready for the London Olympics from Centrebet. Michael Felgate, how was the week, Michael?
Yeah, very good. It was a favourite week for all the AFL punters. Only one favourite got done, and that was in the last game, North Melbourne. So a good weekend for the punters, and just echoing your thoughts too, guys, our thoughts with the Barwick family. And one thing, I'm happy to see that Grandma's brown curtains have been taken away this week. She must have missed them after last week's show.
Yeah, she certainly did. And the man with the sharpest haircut in Australian media from the Herald Sun, Nick Quinn. I mean that literally. Watch out, Felgate. You can nearly poke an eye out. Nick Quinn, how are you, Nick?
What's everyone going to tweet about this week, though, with the curtains gone? They were very popular with the social media last week.
I've got a feeling on the Talking Through Your Kick website it's going to be something to do with your backdrop, that yellow. Ooh, looking terrific after a big night on the drink. Rightio, we've got some important things to get to. It's a rap or slap to start this week's show of Talking Through Your Kick. And Brent, rap or slapping?
I'm going to rap the Australian Turf Club for going out on a limb and trying something different. In Sydney, they're promoting the State of Origin blockbuster Game 3 at Rosehill Gardens on Wednesday night. Will be shown on the biggest television screen in the Southern Hemisphere. So a lot of people are sort of saying, well, what's the point of it? But they're going out, they're doing something different, at least they're trying. If
you're not trying, they want to bag you, and if you're trying, they still want to bag you.
Completely agree.
I agree. It's a good rap for the Australian Turf Club. Felgate, you're from Melbourne. Everything's rosy down there, apparently, so you'd be rapping someone, wouldn't you?
No, I'm actually going to give myself a slap because I fell in once again on the weekend. Stevie Theodore, he's a good mate of mine. He's a gun trainer down here. He's got a horse who's been flying, Ebony Rock. And dual engaged AMAC on the weekend. He was on fielder, so they had to find another jockey. What they decided to do was go for a three-claiming apprentice, young Harry Cassam. He's a Mauritius jockey, and I heard Stevie Theodore interviewed before the race, and he said there may be a few translation issues, but he wanted to go forward, put the pressure on, and prove too hard. Well, he needs a new interpreter, old Stevie Theodore, because after they'd gone 100 metres, poor old Harry was back last on Ebony Rock. It was a certainty beaten, and as the name of the show says, I'm definitely talking through my kick.
There's no doubt in the world, Felgate, that you are talking through your kick. I don't think it would have beat the winner if it started the day before. And I went back and watched the replay. Have a look.
He was held.
Michael, I don't reckon the horse was quick enough early to be where this is different grade of racing. I think Stevie Theodore wanted the horse up second. Sometimes if you, I'd love to sit alongside Usain Bolt in 100 metres, Brent, but I couldn't be there.
You sure? You've always said to me you've been very good at
He was a little timid at the start.
I think you're being harsh there, Felgate, but it is talking through your kick. I'll let you get away with that one for this week. What about you, Nick Quinn? Who are you rapping or bagging?
Well, before we get to that, never mention Usain Bolt on this show, please. Brent and I are still trying to financially recover from that false start, but we'll push on. I'm going to give a big rap to my man, Craig Newitt. We all know he's a star, and he showed it on Saturday. Most punters went to the track with the intention of backing Elite Hell, who was 380 into 180 on the fixed odds, so a big go, only to find out that regular righty Danny Nikolic wasn't going to take the mount. Bit of panic sets in. Never fear. Froggy gets on board her. Perfect ride. Gets the chocolates.
Yeah, 3 from 3. She was outstanding, Elite Hell, and she's got a bit of a future. Rightio, one of the topics from last Saturday's racing, Steve Engelbrecht's got this horse. I think he's had it for 4 or 5 starts now. Brent Malavio won the Civic Stakes. It's back last. Panic stations early on, but this horse is destined for better racing.
Yeah, he certainly is, and it was an interesting way to see him ridden cold and coming off the speed, and I think that was the key to his win.
And the good thing about this win, Michael Malavio, was that it was well backed and you did your money.
Oh, he was one of the best backed horses on the day. We've seen him. I heard you after the race. You're a bit nervous about the 600. He was about 3 or 4 lengths off him, but geez, the way he wound up down the outside, he is a horse going places. And the only time the punters really felt the pain with this horse with him was he was backed off the map second up, and he had a case of the thumps. So they all got their money back on the weekend, and he wasn't the only one. We've got a hits, misses, and plunges segment which we'll go through here every week. And Richie, this will be your favourite segment in the first column, the hits. As you can see, grand business, $8,000 at $3 was a good start for the punters in Sydney. Elite L, the best back runner in Melbourne all day. Could you believe we put up $3.30 earlier in the week? Platelet, Malavio and Hotham Heights was a nice way to get home for the punters. There were a few plungers that went amiss though. The best backed horse in Australia all weekend, a horse called Lord Wimble. $13 we opened up. He started $4.40, Richie.
And misses. Oh, I don't want to talk about those ones. That's actually when you win. There's Whitlam, ideal position, Peck, Rue, Maple, and the big plungers. Night Exemplar was a big year on that, Brent, too.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Grand Business won the first, though. Malavio, Elite L, Paddy O'Reilly for the Irish boys, and Lord Wimble was very, very well backed.
Just going back to that Civic Stakes, it was interesting to see the 3-year-old form there with the winner Malavio and also the second horse, Famous Seamus. It proves at this time of the year there's certainly not much of a disadvantage 3-year-olds taking on the older horses.
Most definitely. And what about this for, I think, one of the great achievements in racing in my time for the adversity that he's faced is Chris Muntz breaking a 32-year-old record, the first rider to ride the 100 Metropolitan winners in Queensland, and it was only fitting it was in one of the feature races, the Glass House up there in Queensland, Brett.
Yeah, and I just also pay, I think, mention to his manager, Gary Legg, who's done a fantastic job. A lot of people work behind the scenes to get these jockeys on the best rides and keep riding winners, and Gary Legg's certainly done a good job with Chris Muntz.
Nick, it's been a wonderful achievement. It was only about 3.5, almost 4 years ago now when he was in Silverwater Jail in Sydney, and he got out of the jail, and I think a lot of credit must go to Peter Volandis, the CEO of Racing New South Wales, who fought tooth and nail against some adverse publicity and from some power quarters to licence Chris Muntz here in New South Wales.
Look, it's a tremendous feel-good story. Everyone loves the Aussie battler story when someone's down on their luck and things go against them and they really rise against it and make a fantastic comeback, and that's what he's done. And everyone now is just so happy, not just in racing but throughout Australian sport, to see Chris Muntz return to the top of the tree. Most
definitely, Michael. He's not the biggest bloke in racing, Muncie. Only people that look up to Muncie's are ants, but he's got a big heart.
Oh, absolutely, and he's been a champion jockey for years. Don't forget going back years ago on Jezebel and that as well. And as you said, for us, can you imagine what it would have been like being in jail, especially for someone like Chrissy Muntz, the size of him in there, for what he did, up against people who have done some really serious crimes out in society, the way he's picked the pieces up, the entire family, and to get back on the horse, so to speak, and to prove that he is the champion once again, it's been unbelievable.
Yeah, two things there. I still don't even think I'd get fancied in jail. And secondly, he brings up Jezebel. You're talking about talking through your kick. Jezebel, I still remember the Caulfield Cup. What was the Pommy rider?
Torfin's Melody, wasn't it?
Torfin's Melody put Champagne and Jezebel, who ran 1-2 in the Cup, over the inside rail.
We are talking through your kick there, Rich. Certainly.
I've got him stumped there when I was talking about me being unfancied even in jail. Rightio, I've got to lose some weight. Let's have a look at the social media. You can get hold of us here at Talkin Thru Your Kick, and tweet us into the show, or obviously get on the emails, and there we are. ttyk@tvn.com.au is the email address, and on Twitter at tvnttyk. God, I've got the T's all mixed up. At TVNTTYK at TVN. As we go to a break on Talking Through Your Kick for this week, let's have a look at the race that Nick mentioned earlier. Elite L, very heavily backed. Craig Newitt in the saddle. White colours, a blue cap about to explode. Go, you good thing.
Running greenly down the outside, but he's moved into third position. Froggy hit the afterburners. Elite L2 in front, trying hard. Grand Emperor. Elite L doing enough, holding Grand Emperor. Going on into third is King Crovan, but Elite L makes it 3 out of 3. She's too good, the fave. 1 or 2 lengths to Grand Emperor and King.